Stewart Copeland says this about his old bandmate Sting. Success and fame did not swell his head. He was the Lion King from birth. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music. Before we start, there's a brand new book. I just got it. Interesting book about the police. And this is about the early parts, the forming of the police. I'm just unboxing this, even though I've already read it. I had the PDF. Here it is. Beautiful book. Stewart Copeland's Police Diaries. Brand new. So much great things in here. There's actually his diary pieces in here. Look, pieces of his diary. His actual diary. Christmas is coming, a hardcover. Links in the description where you can pick it up. I highly recommend it. I found out so much of the police that I did not know before by reading this book. This first segment of this interview is all about the beginning of the police. How Stewart managed to get Sting in the band, and there's lots of interesting quotes about that singer in this clip. Enjoy. Stewart Copeland on Rock History Music. Tell me about the meeting with Sting where he said, I'm listening. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw, I had seen this punk phenomenon. I said, I want to do it yourself band. I was playing in a prog rock band, part of the system, which was the entropy was all winding down. And I needed a guitarist or bass player who could sing. I wanted a three-piece band. Either the guitarist or the bass player needs to sing. So one night off up in Newcastle, I see this jazz band, and the bass had this bass player, and he could sing, and I could see he's got a rather handsome amp. He's got an amp. He can play bass and sing, but I guess the decisive feature was the golden shaft of light, celestial light upon him, lighting up his magnificent brow. It was the charisma. That guy, it can be said that, success and fame did not swell his head. He was the Lion King from birth, okay? And just like out to here. And so sometime later, I called the journalist who had taken us to see that, and I'm telling there's this new thing in London. It's called punk. It's this cool thing. Suddenly the temperature drops 30 degrees. Punk? Because for any professional in the music industry, punk was the enemy, the barbarians at the gate, destroying everything that is good. And so he refused to give me the number. No. And so I hang up and I'm walking around the circles, and I came up with a much more persuasive argument, which I was going to try. And the argument was basically, give me his fucking number. So I called him up with this persuasive argument, but he didn't answer. His girlfriend did. And I said, hi, it's Stewart from Curved Air. And Curved Air, Phil's such a fan of it. Is there anything I can do to help? Well, I'm looking for that bass player, the Sting guy. Half a tick. And I can hear her walking off to get the phone book and come out. Okay, here it is. 024-371-989. That's still his number, by the way. You can call him up on that number. 2 minutes later, I hear that voice with which we are all now so familiar, that husky voice, and he's going, keep talking. Strange how singers are really unmusical when they talk. And two things. First of all, the first thing I said to him was, hi, I'm in London. I've got it all going on here. I'm forming a band. It's looking great. We're going to conquer the world and yada, 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 yap, yap, yap. But here's the thing. I'm just interested in you, not your band. And he said, keep talking. Okay, I got a free roving agent here. That's good. But it also defined the next 2 years of our relationship. I had to keep talking. I had to keep it. We got rehearsals coming up. We got a photo session. We got an interview with Melody Maker. It's all going on. I'm booking dates, and I had to keep talking, keep it going, because as soon as Sting got down to London, everybody was after. I mean, it was obvious, but the miracle is that we stuck together, because soon after that, I get a call in my London apartment, which is this 2-story Mayfair apartment. Long story, it's in the book, what I was doing in this vampire Lestats style accommodation. And he comes up and he's looking around at this incredible place, and he called me from the street downstairs. Hi, I'm here in London, downstairs. Come on up. and I put a bass into his hands, and we jammed, and it was the holy grail. It was obvious that this is the right company. This works. We went and did things that I'd never thought of before, that he'd never thought, and he's a complete stranger. But the music, the riff, the groove, the pocket was just there. Ah, very nice. Cool looking book.
Holy snapping turtles. I so enjoyed this.
Excellent, excellent.
You know, from a guy who keeps a journal and have always thought about getting rid of the journals, of going, oh, yeah, I don't want to keep this stuff.
Well, even though sometimes you write things not because you want anybody ever, even yourself, to ever see it again, just the act of writing is very cathartic, very healing, very, whenever I'm wound up, just writing something, anything, gibberish, just helps. And then 40, 50 years later, I come back and I see it, and all that angst has comedic value.
Well, I mean, you've got the pages there. That's the thing. I mean, the fact that I'm actually looking at the pages in your handwriting. By the way, how far back does that go? I mean,
it goes back to when I was 15 in boarding school.
You have them?
Then it was really, oh yeah. Then it was really random. It wasn't on this day that happened. It was just every now and then when I was, torn up and blue, I'd just start writing in these little books, and it made no sense at all. And then gradually it started to make some kind of sense. And then during the band years, I kept not so much a journal. Well, I don't know what you'd call it. It was just every day. What did we get paid? How many people attended? How well we played? How much I paid for the truck? And all that kind of tour manager stuff. Manager stuff. And but then there were the other writings, which were the continuation of the high school stuff, which was just, grievance nurturing, crackpot schemes, wild delusions, and like I say, that stuff now, angstful as it was back then, is kind of comedic now.
We'll have more from Stewart Copeland in the next few days. His brand new book is called Stewart Copeland's Police Diaries. As I've mentioned before, it's kind of cool. There's actually diary pieces in the book. Oh, there's his journal again. You can pick it up via the links in the description. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. There are links at the very top of the channel where you can make a donation. If you feel like you want to support the channel, you can join our Patreon, get early access to all our videos. Right now on Patreon, the entire interview is on there. So if you're a member, you always get early access to all the interviews, and there's so much coming up that we're going to present to you. Remember, like our videos, share them on social media, and of course, subscribe. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.